was really handy in the clip on YouTube or on Zoom. It shows me holding up the GoPro. So I was like, oh, I know that is the recording from GoPro. So we're just gonna do that here for a sec.
Okay.
So when I go to find it. So it's just the three of us this morning, which, you know what, we're starting a new thing. We're trying these new calendars. We're gonna make it work. We have this every Wednesday at this time, and then we're gonna have a end of, see, I thought I made a calendar for that, but I don't see it. We're gonna have like a wrap up call for people that just want to read along during the month, and then, well, it's not exactly a month, but it's like mid-April, I think, or beginning of May. I don't know. That we'll have a call to go over the whole book. So, I asked ChatGPT, give me some follow-up discussions for these chapters, and it did. But let's talk first about that initial question that I asked was, what would your day look like if you were a professional network marketer? And I was like, you know what? I think there's a couple ways we could look at this. Like, one is like, you know, if you were making the kind of money that you're wanting to make, right? What would your day look like if, I not listened. I was on a call yesterday with my friend Andrea, and she was like, yeah, now every month after we pay our bills, we have $10,000 to invest in wealth building things. And I was like, girl, she has no bills. That's so amazing. But like, yeah, what would that look like, right? So I think there's a way you could look at it that way, but and then also, like, if you were really treating this like a business, like a professional network marketer, and even if that was an hour a day, like, I'm not saying for 8 hours a day, but what would you do for your business and how would you schedule your day? So, I don't know. I know Amy already was telling me I was like, stop, don't tell me anymore. I want to wait till we're on the call for you to share the rest of this.
Okay.
But
so I asked ChatGPT because Melissa's teaching me to use that resource. And I said to ChatGPT something like, knowing what you know about my LifeVantage business, tell me what a day in my life would look like if I was a professional network marketer. But I also, in that, included using the book GoPro by Eric Worre. So I worded it better than that, but that's the gist of it. So he gave, or ChatGPT, he gave me like a schedule for the day, and it was like an 8-hour long day. So I said, could you please modify that for me for a 4-hour work day? So whatever like time you have, you can modify that. Say, I have 1 hour, 5 days a week and 3 hours on Saturday. Could you give me a modified schedule? So would you like to read my schedule for a 4-hour day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to us.
So it says morning routine before my 4-hour day starts, personal development, 15 to 30 minutes of reading, listening, mindset, or business training. For example, Eric Worre or other leadership books or podcasts. Number 2, wellness and branding alignment for 30 minutes, exercise, take supplements, share part of your routine on social media, Instagram or Facebook stories. And then starting the 4-hour workday, it says hour 1, lead generation and prospecting. Number 1, connect with 5 to 10 new people via social media or in person. Number 2, engage on Instagram or Facebook, comment, like, reply to stories, or warm up your prospects. 3, send initial invites to potential customers or business partners. I really don't think that would take an hour, but possibly. Hour 2 is follow-up and presentations, follow up with warm leads from previous conversations, share a tool, video, webinar, or event to move them closer to a decision, answer any questions, and overcome objections. Hour 3, content creation and attraction marketing. 1, post one high-value piece of content, educational post, testimonial, story, or video. 2, show up in stories, behind the scenes, product use, lifestyle, or personal insights. 3, engage with comments and DMs to build relationships. Hour 4, team support and closing conversations. Number 1, check in with your team members for offer guidance or recognize wins. 2, attend or host a quick team training or mastermind call if scheduled. 3, final follow-ups, closing conversations with prospects who are ready to make a decision. And then it says weekly activities outside of your 4 hours a day as needed, team trainings or events, planning and strategy, batch content, set goals, and prepare for the week. Networking, attend a virtual or in-person event to meet new people. So
Nice.
I thought that was really good. And you can definitely ask GPT to go like change this or modify this. Or you can just make those modifications yourself. But lists like this really help me because I have great intentions and then I have brain fog. I'm like, I can't process what I want to do. So it's nice to have directions. Even when I know what to do, my brain fog gets in the way.
I find that I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Like I should do 20 different things. And then sometimes I'll get overwhelmed by that and do nothing. Or I'm like, that's great, but look at this other pile I should work on. And then I get distracted and a joke, but truth. I'm like, when I need to get a task done that I've been dreading, what I need to do for my ADHD brain is put a task that I hate even more on my list. And then like, I'll avoid that one and do the other things that I've
Or I've heard the advice, do the hard things first.
yeah, eat the frog.
Yeah. And then I am making this decision on a daily basis because I can make it one time and the next day I forget. So like on a daily basis, I want to make the decision to be a professional network marketer. And I think it's helpful to like have this thing that Chat GPT made for me so I can say, this is what my life would look like if I was taking this seriously. This is what my day, my work would look like. But then also, I have found it's really important to have minimums. Like, what is the minimum you will do on a daily basis for your business that you know you can do basically unless you're dying yourself, so that you're doing one thing every day to move your business forward and that you're keeping your business in the front of your mind, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day. So I'm really trying to work on creating that minimum because I have so many times like come up against something because life is always lifing on us. So I'm like making this decision, I'm running forward, and then life happens. And then I feel like I'm just off the rails completely. So I'm really trying to build that muscle of doing my minimum every day, no matter what.
Love that. So what is your personal minimum?
Well, I'm still quantifying that.
Sure. No, we just like ideas.
But right now it's like I get on the phone with Melissa for 30 minutes and get into action. So sorry. So I'm still working on that, but I'm trying to find my minimum so that life is always lifing, but I need to also continue to work and build my business.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Laura, I'm so glad you're here with us. This is I don't know, Tina, are you in Colorado?
I am in Colorado. Yes.
Sweet. This is the Colorado squad then on the call here today. We're just talking about what would your life look like if you're a professional network marketer? And then we're going to go through some questions. So I don't know, Tina, did you think on that question?
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that. And as Amy knows, my schedule is pretty insane. And spring breaks really bring, like this week I'm on spring break, so it really brings reality to, um, I almost, if I can just be very transparent, I um like I just go so much that when I am not going, I almost feel very, very lost. And so the question that came to my mind was wow, would network marketing look like a balanced routine that a normal person experiences, like a Monday through Friday, and having weekends off, and like being able to um, have time with family, and actually being able to like prioritize, well, what do I enjoy, what hobbies do I have, like what how can I serve, more in my church. And so um I think this is like you can get really used to routines, and your brain like just starts thinking that's the norm. And yeah, I think you build those pathways to that norm of go, 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 go. And then when you're not going, I feel, and I don't think that's good either. I don't think there's any good balance. And so to answer that question, I just feel like it would be maybe what a normal life looks like, a normal work week, a normal um, breaking away from the work week, and yeah, and just living life and discovering. I think that's my.
Can I talk about you a little bit, Tina?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Tina is my son's mother-in-law. She's married to my daughter, or not married. She's the mother of my son's wife, Mary. She currently is working 65 hours a week because she's worked at the hospital for years and years. And a couple of years ago, she took a job as the science teacher at our local Christian private school. So she teaches 5 days a week and then works at the hospital 2 days a week. So her work week is 65 house. And she's passionate about everything she does, including her church and feeding her family. And I don't know how she does it. She's amazing. And she's here today.
No.
So.
I'm so happy you invited me today, Amy. Thank you.
I'm glad you came.
Laura, no worry. You can just turn your camera off, girl, and listen in. You're all good. Tina, man, it's that term normal. Like, I don't know that there's normal, right? Like maybe quieter or calmer or something. But I also love that saying. It's like, how do you get something done? Ask a busy person to do it, right? Like, there's just something about us doers. We get stuff done. And I do know, like, when I have too much time on my hands, I don't get anything done. Like, I have to have a certain amount of busy personally. Um, another this visual that marriage counselor person we went to one time gave, and I've thought about it so much. At first, when he told it to me, I was like, I don't feel like that. But I used to homeschool, and I was with my kids, and my days were very, very, very flexible. Like I could do whatever I wanted. I mean, I still was taking care of 6 kids, but I could do that however way I wanted. Well, now I have them in school, and I feel this feeling. And he said, with your family, when you get kids and when you're in this schedule, he's like, it's very much like you're rafting down this river with just the walls, the cliffs on both sides, and you're not getting out. Like you are just being pushed down this river, and you have to be so mindful to pull over, to get out of that, just flow forward. And it sounds like you're very much in the river right now. But I love this. I think sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I just feel like I hear you like dreaming and like saying what if, and I love that.
Well, I think I know God is in this. I really do. Amy, do you remember when you invited me over and it was just before you were making your plan, or you were praying about it actually, about wanting to do your business full time and then give your notice at your job. And I remember like that conversation, and I remember thinking at the time, like I would love that, and like I absolutely have absolutely no time, and I but anyway, I remember thinking all these things and just leaving it there, and but the Lord just kept nudging at my heart, and I don't I it's just a daily trust thing, like you know I told Amy, I said, I don't want to get emotionally attached here. I don't, I don't want to get emotionally attached. But I know in my heart, like I just know so much in my heart, and I know just in sound judgment that this model is good. And I knew that when I first joined with Amy's team, I knew that, but I wasn't the person that I am today. But I always knew that I shouldn't like give up my membership with LifeVantage. So I'm just taking it a day at a time, and I just knew that I needed to connect back up with Amy, and it was just kind of a really humbling thing because I had done that, and then a few days later, I had seen a post that Amy did where she was talking about inviting her team back. And I just knew with conviction, truly at that time, that, okay, God, I know you were in this. So just help me to take the steps and to be patient and not to get ahead of you. And so with that being said, I'm just very thankful, and I'm glad to be part of your team.
I'm so glad you are as well.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. Okay, well we'll go over our book stuff. We'll go over our chapters, and then, maybe
Can I
as
jump
this
in
group,
real quick? Sorry.
absolutely.
I just am so inspired and so grateful as well to be part of this. So thank you. So I am in Colorado and I'm a cross-line cousin. And I love, 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 love Melissa. And I will have to say that this question, the word that sticks out to me is kind of like an Ignatian prayer, is professional. What if I were a professional? So I homeschool. I have 7 kiddos, and I've been part of LifeVantage for 9 years. Love, love, love the products, love the business model. I'm grateful that I have I'm paying my daughter's high school tuition, so I've created a nice little business. But the reality is I don't really treat it like a business. And what if I did? What if I was professional? What if I followed up with people and knew when people were getting their orders, and, what if? And so for me, I know that's one of the things that I love about Melissa is that she does treat this like a business. She came to this company because of the business. And so I look forward to learning more about becoming more professional, and looking at the business side of it. Yeah, that's my little 2 cents.
Ditto. I echo all of that. I love it.
I love Laura. It's funny, like you're like, Melissa treats it like a business, and I'm like, kinda, and it's just like I think I've shared before, like I was at a leadership meeting, and a leader was speaking, that Marcy Steiner, and Marcy Steiner was telling about like how she runs her business and how she leads her leaders. And I said, I called her after, and I'm like, I need to be mentored by you. Can you teach me that? I heard it, I took notes, but I need to hear it again. Like, I said, if I treated this like a business, that's how I would run it. And she was like, what, Melissa? I'm like, I spend like an hour a day on this, and while we can build something, like, I mean, I built a 6-figure income, like, well, my first year I spent 4 hours a day. Okay. Like every single day I spent 4 hours a day. But then after that, for 6 years, probably at least 5, I've spent an hour a day. I touched it. I didn't want to ignore it. Like, I needed my team to know I was alive, and, I would share and stuff. But, don't feel like I treated it like a business, and I still feel, and this is the bad part, don't want to be Debbie Downer here, but I do have a massive team, and that takes a lot of time. Like, answering their questions, celebrating them, doing those kind of things takes a lot of my time. So even though now where I make good money, I feel like I work from like 9 to 2 every day, and it's not enough. Now I'm like, I need a few more hours. Like, I need more hours. And I guess I probably don't, but it feels like to treat it like a business. I don't know. Maybe I would, but maybe I just need to hire more people to do things for me. I don't know. But nobody could do this call for me, and none of y'all are even on my team, but that's fine. This is good for me. And there's people watching the recording, and my team will start flowing in here when they're like, is this a real thing? Is she really doing this? And there is this really weird phenomenon of like, oh, I forgot the exact term of it, but it's just where people know you and you're not very special to them because they're like, we hear her all the time. And so this is one of the blessings where, you guys, we can hang out together, and you haven't heard me ramble on and on. Okay. Let's get to our questions, because I think we will take this like a half hour. Good. Okay. Yes, Tina, we'll record, we'll pass these around. Thank you for saying that. Okay. Chapter 1, network marketing isn't perfect, just better. And man, I know like that kind of stuff is like controversial. I don't know. For me, like, people would say network marketing is the very best business model. And I'd be like, I don't know if I can say that. I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to say something, like, I need to believe it 1,000%, and not saying that I know of something that I think is way better. But I just feel weird personally saying the best or just better. That's just my own personal weirdness. But I do think it's amazing, and leveraged income. Like, I think the only thing would be better is when you get to that investment money, and then you have people that you can trust, that you can be like, oh, you got a project? Oh, here's 10 grand. Oh, you're going to give me 30 grand back in 6 months? Perfect. Here you go. Right? Like,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, that sounds ideal. Like, I had nothing to do. They just handled it. Here you go. But I'm not quite there yet with handing somebody 10 grand. Okay. It's the first question was, what was your initial impression of network marketing before reading this chapter? And I don't know. Yeah, like, I feel like the question for us would be better, like, what was your impression of network marketing before you joined LifeVantage? And I know we've been kind of talking about that off and on, but if the chapter or LifeVantage part feels better to you, I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of network marketing. I've always enjoyed supporting my friends in their business if it was something I could afford, because I do feel like the best products are usually sold via network marketing, and you get more information about the products. You have a person you can go to talk about this if you have a question or need a return or need more or something else. So I've always loved network marketing as a consumer. So I think I'm a weirdo, because some people are like, oh, I'm not going to buy that because it's sold via network marketing. And I'm just like, so you'd rather support this big conglomerate over here than your friend who is trying to build something for his or herself. I just don't understand that logic. So I'm definitely a weirdo, but I want to talk about that more to get people to think about that. And I did do a company when I was 21, and I was not successful, and it wasn't the company's fault, and it wasn't direct sales fault. It was definitely my fault and the mistakes that I made that kind of tore down my business. But it never made me feel like I hate the industry or I'll never do it again. I just never found something that I thought I could get behind myself until LifeVantage kind of landed in my lap. But I think I'm a weirdo because I love network marketing as a networker and as a consumer. And I'm not professional, and I have a lot to learn. And I have been like Laura, I've been here for 14 years, and yeah, I'm ready to become professional because I'm not going anywhere. So what am I doing with my time? So
Now, I think weirdo is a compliment. Like, I tell my kids all the time they're weird, and I love that about them. Like, I want us to be different. And like, one of my main goals for my children is that they can feel like be silly and goofy without alcohol. Like, that is a motivating factor in my parenting decisions. Um, but I would challenge you, though, on that thought, Amy, that like you're weird because you've always liked network marketing and that other people don't think like you, right? Because it, even if you're like laughing and smiling about it, but at the same time, it's that program that's running in the back, and it can affect how you then interact with people, right? So if it's like, no, like there are people like me that love network marketing. Like I had no issue with network marketing. I just want to start my own company. I was like, I'm going to create my own catalog. You guys can sell my stuff. But I would challenge you to, because I've heard you say it a couple of times to me, but yeah, I love it. Okay. And sorry, we don't have to go through therapy every time. I'm just going to be hard on Amy. Nobody else. Just kidding.
I love it. Well, I guess they don't want you to be hard on them, but I want you to be hard on me. I'm here for that. That's why I'm here.
Well, you could be hard on me too. That would be awesome.
Here we go.
I was just gonna jump in and say that I think, yeah, one of the reasons it's not the best business model is because so many other people have a misperception of what it is. And so if other people appreciated the business model as much as all of us did, it would absolutely be the best business model out there. But one of the greatest barriers for me, is the business model. And a lot of it is my own limiting beliefs around the business model, or my own hesitation in even presenting the business to people because of the business model. But I personally love it. I grew up with a family that has supported network marketers forever. I grew up in a community with the founder of Pampered Chef, who was so generous to our community, and an unbelievable businesswoman who she created her business. So again, it's kind of the perception around the business model sometimes that I do struggle, and it becomes a barrier for me to build.
Okay, I've got a challenge for us. This week, I challenge you to post in your story somewhere, I am a professional network. I'm gonna do it myself. But ooh, I could feel like I'm like, oh, okay, I think that'll be really good for me. So I don't know.
Okay, I have a question about this, because I have a hard time aligning myself with saying that I'm a professional network marketer, because I don't feel like I'm professional. Like, I'm learning to be professional. But I was going to post something about like the quote that network marketing is not perfect, but it is a better way. That's my opinion. What's yours? So can I post that instead?
I love that.
Okay.
Sure. Like, I mean, again, I feel like there's power in that I am statement. And maybe we don't say professional, but like, I am a network marketer. Like, I guess, and then I would challenge you, like, why can't we say professional? What does professional
I
mean?
like professional better.
Yeah, what is like, but why? Like, to me, you're doing this every day. So in my mind, you're a professional network marketer, but I guess it would be what's the litmus? What's the word? Litmus? I don't know.
Yeah,
What's the
I don't know how
test?
it's spelled, but I know what you're saying.
Hi, Melissa, I have dyslexia. But what would make you a professional?
Okay, Laura, are you asking me or Melissa?
Here's mine. I typed it in there, but yeah,
Yes. What was your
I think
statement?
My statement is, I can type it in a minute. But network marketing is not perfect, but it is better. That's my opinion. What's yours?
Yeah, that's nice.
I love that it's going to get the controversy.
Yeah.
It's going to get the questions.
I'm excited. I hope it does get the questions. I feel like a lot of people see my post and roll my eyes, but don't comment. You know, like they're in the background rolling their eyes, but they're not putting the words on my screen. So,
and if you get like hate, you just call me. Like, we'll be on FaceTime. We can talk. Because
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And I'm going to answer it with love.
There you go.
I like that. Yes.
I love. What were your thoughts on network marketing before?
Well, I think like I back when I first got into it, I was kind of on that bridge of it's a great business model and that you can leverage your income, and so I understood from that point of view that it was good, and then also though I was involved in a career that is what Eric Worre talked about. Worre, he talked about how people can't come alongside you, or it's harder for them because they've been living in a business model that has, afforded them things and a lifestyle. And then, of course, then you have the infamous pyramid scheme thinking. That was probably the biggest thing I ran into, and I think especially in today's digital technology world, and what we're noticing right now, even with the concepts of AI, and so many layoffs right now. I think it to as I think about it, that it is a 21st century business model, with the social media concept, and then like what Amy said, why wouldn't you want someone that who could share the information with you, who's kind of your advocate for the product or whatever it is that cares about you, like it's just kind of getting out of that unstuck mode of thinking that that career that you've established, that the culture established for you, that Eric Worre talked about, as far as being able, you go to school, you go to college, or you go through your training, and this is your job, this is what you do, and you just get stuck. And so, but to answer that fully, I think it is and because it's been shown that people can build wealth off of leveraged income. There's more people that can do that. And so, and I think now I think people are going to start seeing this now. I think there's a prime opportunity for, like, my husband's a federal worker. And so, all the layoffs that have just occurred, people are starting to realize that things have changed. So we have to go along with that change too. We got to change our way of thinking, um, and get with people who know, how to do this, like-minded people who have done it, or are trying to do it, or are doing it. So yeah.
Well, you're in the perfect place.
Yeah.
I love it. It's interesting. I was thinking, Laura, when you're talking about, people's like this being people's opinion coming at us. Like we struggle with that, right? And I was just thinking like all of the biggest, in my mind, best things, the most important are the ones that have the most pushback. Like the crazy pushback that you're like, this doesn't even make sense. Why would you be on board with this or that or be against this? I don't understand. Um, and I feel like if we look at that, I kind of like I know we're all like-minded on this call right here, but it's like when you feel that spiritual attack, personally for me, I'm like energized by that because I'm like, oh, you're worried? You're worried about me, little old me? But greater is he that's in me, right? And so I feel like if we could kind of take that same mindset and put it towards this business model, and when like why is there so much pushback against it? And be like, maybe there's something bigger. Maybe we don't want people to have freedom. Maybe we don't want that. Something, not us, something else. Right? I don't know. Just something you could maybe roll around in your brain when it's starting to push back at you. So chapter 2 is funny. The question is really what I posed earlier. So I think we'll talk about this and then we'll wrap us up for today. And I'm going to read you all 3 of these questions and we can just answer them kind of all together. I mean, one at a time, but you know what I'm saying? Okay. Says, what does being a network marketing professional mean to you? Why do you think many people approach network marketing with an amateur mindset? And what specific steps can you take to transition from an amateur to a professional? So I know we kind of started talking about that. I was like, what does that mean? I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts on that.
I think that professionals have systems that they follow so that they know what to do next, and they put people in like those lists or blocks of what to do next. So they're not always guessing. They're not just throwing mud on the wall. I think, can you repeat the question about amateurs?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just like, I hear a sound. Dishwasher people coming. Let's see. I can't walk with all that. Okay. I think it's just my dogs, but sorry, I'm being a spaz over here. What do you think are specific steps? Okay, no, why do you think many people approach network marketing with an amateur mindset?
Okay,
And
what I
then
wanted to answer, because that's where I live. People approach network marketing with an amateur mindset because they sometimes have this, I just need to do all this really quick to get to this place faster. When I get to this place faster and I have this amount of income, then I'll learn how to do it correctly. Like they're just trying to run. Let's do as much as I can, because they see other people jump in the business and have success in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months. So they're like, okay, that's what I do. I just run really, really fast. Well, those people who ran really fast are probably following steps as a professional. They are probably having systems of follow-up. They're not just spewing all over people, So that's how I feel about that question about being an amateur. And I don't remember the third question, but
steps can we take to transition from amateur to professional? And I think your answer would be like having systems. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. And like, I think Eric Worre is going to answer those questions for us.
Laura or Tina, what do you guys think about that?
Well, and I was going to say, I think they're all interrelated. What does this mean? A lot of us, I think, who get into this see the freedom that it allows, see the independence that it offers. So that's what it attracts us. However, as far as the mindset beyond that, I think many of us, and I want to speak for everyone but myself, I do have that almost limiting belief around the professionalism. I'm not climbing the corporate ladder because that's not what I want, but somehow I still view that as what a professional is. And so I think they're all kind of tied together. We're in this because we see the benefits of it. However, someone said we're still living in that kind of traditional business model mindset, and they're two completely different things. And for me, I have to stop putting them on the same like parallel and just say, no, I'm not part of that business model, because I do truly appreciate this one. And this is what this business model, and I need to tell more people what it does for me. I love this business model because I get to be home with my kiddos. I get to be in a car on spring break and check in. I get to. What does it allow me to do? Because I think we also downplay all those benefits.
Love that. I think a really powerful post for you, Laura, would be something like why I don't own a health food store or something. Like I feel like you could totally own one, but like I don't want inventory. I don't want to have the set clock. I don't want people in my home or whatever 24/7, right? And like, but I do want to help people still with their health. I want to be that coach and that mentor, but I want that time freedom. I want to be able to set my own hours, and maybe that's from 7 to 9 on a Tuesday night, and maybe that's 3 to 6 on a Friday morning. I don't know. But I think that could be a really, really great post for you. I don't know. Take it, make it yours. But
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
you're welcome. Tina, what are your thoughts on this, friend?
I think that honestly, as I was listening, I think for me it's just taking that in and keeping it very like taking what I heard today and praying about that, and just really staying close um, to the Lord, because I mean, I've always been one of those people that I just run my own ship, and um and that hasn't, it served me well for a time, but those days are over. And I'm really wanting to just rely on what God is doing in this and through me, and my dependence on Him, and just kind of what that looks like. And so I think it looks like transparency. I think it looks like putting yourself out there, always being completely honest and authentic, and then and being around supports and people who are like-minded, like all of you in this group, um, and just being willing, and that's where I'm at. I'm just willing to let the Lord lead me, and I'm willing to like just break down old mindsets of ways of thinking, and I think I have worked on that a lot over the last few years. Um, but I do think network marketing is a very good business model, and um, I'm just trying and working very hard not to get too far. I just don't want to go ahead of God. I just want to really be led, really be transparent, really know that I can't do this without the support of like-minded people like all of you, and just see where God steers it.
Love it. I think I had a little sticky note right here because I have a million. Um, and I think it was Amy that told me this the other day, was like pray and take action. And I just love that. I'm like, yes, okay, pray, like Lord lead me, but I do need to take action. Oh yeah, it fell off. I'm standing on it. Let's see. I was like, where is that? I was just looking at it. Pray and take action.
Action. Yes. Love that.
Um, I like here's my tough love, Melissa. And this is not for you, Tina, sorry. This is just like for this question. Like I'm saying sorry, I didn't want to scare you. I feel like when people say, like when people come in with this amateur thing and they don't want to take it professionally, I think there's two things going on. For the most part, yeah, there's always outliers, but one would be kind of like what Laura was talking about, like right? And what are people going to think about me doing this business model, right? So I think some people are just scared. They're just like, I'm just going to kind of float it out there. We're going to do a soft launch, and we're never doing more than a soft launch, right? We're just putting it out there because I kind of do this thing. Like, it's not my whole thing. It's just another stream of income, right? I think there's that goes on. But I think that there's also so often it's like, well, if I'm not taking this super serious, then I can't to fail. And I say this in quotes because, you know, we were talking about this, Amy and I were talking about this last week. I think, like, what does success mean? Like, if you're successful in this business, like, what does that really mean to you? Like, what, and for each of us, the answer is going to be different, right? There's not this concrete answer. Like, maybe success for you is like, I'm asking the Lord every day, who am I supposed to talk to? Or like, Lord, show me what I'm supposed to do this week in my business, and that I'm faithful and I do those things. But maybe you're like, you have this vision. You're like, I need to get this word out. I'm going to talk to, like, I need 10 people, like, and it's those weird things, those weird visions that you're like, I don't even know why I feel this. I just feel like I need 10 people to see it like I see it. And we're going to lock arms and we're going to change the world. And maybe that success for you is when you find your 10, right? Like, it's really different. But I think we're scared of being told no. We're scared of, quote unquote, failing, and what that might mean about us if we don't, fly to the top in 3 months or whatever. And so I think a lot of people protect themselves by saying, it's just a little thing. I just kind of do it, it's not, I'm not professional. So, that's my hard take on that. But, I think this post of, like, and I'm going to challenge you somehow this week, announce to the world that you are, like, I'm like, should we have a t-shirt? Like, I'm a professional network marketer. Or, yeah, I think network marketing is like, say something that you agree with, right? Like, and maybe you don't feel like you're a professional today, but again, I feel like you could be tomorrow. Do you know? Like, I don't know. It's not like you're getting a certificate or you have to take some classes and then, oh, you are now a professional network marketer. So I challenge you to this week, put that out there to the world. Put that line in the sand and let people know who you are and what you're doing. And see what happens. I'm telling you, it can be a rough ride though, especially like y'all. I'm talking now to the people watching the replay, people that are watching this that haven't done it before. There was a girl that I was my longest friend. I wouldn't say my best friend, but my longest friend. And when I got going with this, one time she was talking to me, I didn't talk to her about the business because I didn't want to do this with her. She's not a friendly person. She was not a fun person to be around, but we'd been friends a long time, and so I didn't talk to her about it, but then she kept saying she couldn't sleep. She was really struggling with her sleep. And I said, I have something that might be able to help you. Like, if you'd like to know more, I'd love to help you. She responds to me, you have nothing to help me, and blocked me on everything. I don't think I lost. I don't think I lost anything though in that, sometimes there's those people in my life that the Lord's like, want to have some distance from them. And I'm like, but Lord, look at the sad little puppy. Someone needs to love them. And then the Lord's like, you're an idiot. Watch this. No, he probably, that's how he speaks to me. So I don't know. He speaks in Melissa language. So, and, okay. Laura said, okay, but at the same time, there's people out there like Amy and I that love network marketing. And they're like, you're one of us. You love it too. Oh, I'm going to tune in. What is this girl doing? What's this girl doing? I want to hear more. She's bold. She's brave. That's the kind of leader I want. So I would challenge you guys and people watching the recording too, do that and let me know. I love this question. Is there a new name versus network marketing, social selling, affiliate marketing, side hustle? I don't know. I'm a leader of leaders. That's all. I think sometimes when we try and give it a cute name, it sounds to some people like you're trying to disguise it, which comes off like you're uneasy about it, you know? So I really like to talk about the difference between affiliate marketing and network marketing. And I was on a call the other day, where she talked about like, here's the affiliate model. And I don't even know if I would say it that way, because I would say like, here's the social selling model. Because again, an affiliate just gets commission. They're not they're not building a team. But if you have sold this product to 20 people, somebody is going to become a consultant and you're going to be bumped out of that model. And what I don't like about affiliate marketing right away. So those are my 5 cents on that. Okay, read chapters 3 and 4. Yeah, yeah. And so like somebody the other day was like, is this multi-level? It sounds like multi-level marketing. And I was like, multi-level marketing and network marketing are the same thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. Is there a difference between multi-level and network marketing? I don't know. I know there's difference in the comp plans. You start looking at comp plans, you'll see why people have changed, why people have cracked down. There are things that have been terrible. Okay. Chapters 3 and 4, read your book. I hope you're a highlighter, a note taker. I'm telling you, it helps me to get it to sink into my brain. And then I can go back here and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to post about today. Oh, let's see. I highlighted. Okay, I can't without the glasses. There are 3 categories of people in network marketing: posers, amateurs, and professionals. Which one are you? That's a good reel right there. If I don't have content, I just look through a highlighted book. I find me something real fast. It's nice hanging out with you ladies. Have a great day. Take care. Yeah. I love doing this with y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you were